It's the Kills and Billiam Show.
Oh boy, everybody, haters, lovers, worldwide. What's going on, everybody? It is the latest, greatest, and hopefully your favoriteest wrestling podcast. It is the Section 8 Wrestling Podcast. I am Kills at Wills.
I am Billiam.
Hey, and we are here to give you the SmackDown before Saturday Night Main Event, Saturday Night Main Event, and then the Raw after Saturday Night Main Event breakdown because Saturday Night Main Event was a thing that happened, and we're going to talk about that thing that happened. How are
It
you,
was
sir?
basically a main event, which
Basically,
wasn't even the main event. So,
how are you, sir, for the people? Let them know.
doing well. It was a fantastic weekend of wrestling. You and I got to watch Saturday night's main event together, which is always a pleasure.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, SmackDown started up the weekend strong. So,
Well,
without
tell
further
us,
ado,
let
we
us
can hop
know.
into those results.
SmackDown.
And by starting strong, it real strong. So you know how they're doing the intros for so and so's here, and they're walking through the arena with their luggage and saying what their
Yeah,
quest is
which is
currently.
cool. I like that. It's cool. I like that
Yeah.
little thing. Yeah.
So they get to the last one, which is Drew McIntyre. He's walking through the back, like Drew McIntyre has been feuding with, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes like a fist, and Damian Priest comes and he starts like they just start brawling right there. That's how SmackDown starts. It's like, all right, well, these guys just can't keep their hands off each other, and they're just brawling again. Here we go. So that gets broken up.
Yeah.
Um, which brings us to the first actual segment of the show, which brings us to a stunning Tiffany Stratton
Hey now.
gracing us with her presence. It indeed was Tiffy time, and she's becoming more and more my current number one. Uh,
She
anyway,
getting better on the mic. I saw a little
she
clip.
is.
She getting better. Yeah,
She
she's
is.
stepping up. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, she was talking about her win against Nia Jax, which that match, if you haven't seen
I did eventually see it. That what up they tore the house down. Good for them
yeah.
both. Yeah.
Uh, so she's talking about how she came out on top, and then Alexa Bliss graces us with her presence,
Say now, say now.
as does Charlotte. Both talking about wanting to be in the Money in the Bank match. Or yeah. And then they're going back and forth. Charlotte has a match to qualify for Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss was the first to qualify, so she is in
Correct.
said match.
We'll be there. Yeah.
So all their banter back and forth with the three of them, and Tiffany ends on the line saying, let me quote, "Oh, not to offend, but you guys are a little too vintage for me." Referring to Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and their old news. They've been around, so Tiffy's the new. Like I said, it's Tiffy time.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
So she's
You
leaving the
people are
ring.
watching out there. That means they're old.
Mm,
A little too old for me.
well done.
Mm,
Well
mm,
done.
mm, mm.
So as Tiffany mic drops and walks out of the ring, Julia's music hits,
Okay.
and she is the second competitor against Charlotte and Zelina Vega for the Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Okay.
Which that match, minus Julia, that match was very sloppy. It
Okay.
was not. Zelina Vega is a champion. We kind of had this discussion, not really sure how or why.
We'll get to her. We'll
Uh,
get
but yeah,
yeah.
so this was the start of her not too great of a weekend performance wise.
Yeah.
Charlotte too. Charlotte was just not looking on her game, but uh,
Mm.
it was Julia's first official match on SmackDown, and
Okay.
she tore the house down with what she can do. So she's going to be a lot of fun to watch,
All
and
right.
she ends up qualifying for the Money in the Bank.
All right. Gonna get some Julie action. There we go. Shaping up to be a pretty good Money in the Bank women's match.
Oh, both of them, yeah, and we'll get to the
Yeah.
men's match as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
that women's match is because it's a little bit everybody. It's Rhea Ripley's first and first ladder match. She says she's never been
Yes.
in a ladder match, so
Yeah. We'll get to that. We have a little thing. So yeah, for
we
sure.
will. So next up on the card for SmackDown was Tommaso Ciampa taking on Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns.
Okay.
So more and more of these two guys, well, part of these two teams are becoming like I think the two top tag teams, not on just on SmackDown, but in the WWE.
Okay.
Motor City Machine Guns, they've been together, like I said, for a couple decades plus. So they know each other's ins and outs, weaknesses, all that stuff. And Ciampa's worked with them a little bit too. So
Okay.
this match with Chris Sabin and Ciampa was phenomenal.
Cool.
Um, so it ended up with Candice LeRae. I don't know if you remember her. She was running around with
Poison Pixie.
bags.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So she inserted herself in the match,
Okay.
interfering and helping Tommaso Ciampa to pick up the victory. So it looks like we have a new member for DIY.
All right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Next was the Secret Harvest taking on Michin and BFAB.
Okay.
Um, that was just it is what it is.
It was a
I
match.
I mean I didn't really take
Had
too
a
many
beginning and
notes
an
on that,
end.
so it happened.
Okay.
Um, that was the first time we saw BFAB since before WrestleMania when
Yeah, I haven't heard her name in a minute.
yeah, I think her last match was when Charlotte faced her before WrestleMania as like a warm-up match. That was
Okay.
the last time she had made an appearance like in the ring.
Okay.
So I believe Secret Harvest won. Like I said, I don't know why I didn't even write down who won, but I believe they did.
All right.
So after that, you hear Alexa Bliss talking in the hallway. They do a cut scene. Charlotte's walking down the hallway and she mistakes Alexa Bliss is talking as talking to Charlotte, but she was actually talking to her doll. And
As
then so a little playful banter back and forth, and Bliss said, "Oh, I'll see you at Money in the Bag." And she said, "Oh wait, I guess I won't." Charlotte lost, and Julia did not. So Alexa Bliss is like, "I'll see you later." Oh, no, I won't.
boy.
Sorry, sorry, I'm
Ew.
not sorry.
Ew.
Yeah, which takes us to the next match on the card, which is Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
Reluctantly tag teaming, but since they
Right.
are quote family, as Solo is
Right.
putting it, uh, they're tag teaming to go up against Big Jimmy Uso and Ray Phoenix.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Jimmy kind of hyped. They were kind of hyping each other up, him and Ray Phoenix, before the match, kind of in gorilla position, kind of like slapping each other's chests. It's like, I'm your brother, you're my oos, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So they actually worked really well together, and
Okay.
that match was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen any highlights from Ray Phoenix doing his thing, they actually used a pretty cool camera angle. So it was literally just the cameraman standing in one of the corners, but like on the apron, so on the outside, and he just stayed there for probably about 30, 45 seconds and just they were kind of going all over the place, but it was Ray Phoenix pretty much flying all over the ring and just taking dudes out. It was
Okay. So that
pretty
might have
fun to
been
watch.
intentional then. Okay, because they did kind of like a thing like that during Raw, and I thought it
Mhm.
was because maybe the main camera went out. So I was like, oh, because I know that at one point, watching Raw, the camera kind of like it went dark and it came back, and then yeah, for a good part of I forget which match it was. There was like a guy on the apron kind of filming from
Yeah,
that way. I was like, that's cool, but I
so
wonder
they
if
did the
they
same thing,
practice.
and it
Okay,
just it makes the moves. I think it makes the moves like a little more like intense and kind of
okay,
like you're into it more. But I kind of like it. It looks like they're messing with camera angles instead of having
sure,
the same ones that they've
okay,
had for the last 50, 40 years. So it was something cool to see.
okay. So that was intentional. Okay, Dick, trying something new. Not mad at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Next up was the next Money in the Bank qualifying match with LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking on Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So LA Knight cut a promo before the match saying, I gotta walk through some darkness before you get to the light, because like Aleister Black's little, I mean, Black's in his name, and then Shinsuke's entrance is super dark and broody, and then LA Knight's was like big and bright, like he came out last. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose, but it was a pretty cool contrast to see that.
Okay.
That match was great. I mean, you've
That's
seen
three
all three of those
progressives
guys
there.
go,
Yeah.
um, and they went and they put on a hell of a match in LA Knight. I actually cheered because LA Knight won and qualified for Money in the
There
Bank.
you
I was like, yes.
go. Nice.
So the
Good.
megastar hopefully gets that briefcase and
I think we've
it's on it
talked a
bigger
little
and
bit.
better, man.
I think we've talked a little before. I think he's one of the candidates. I think that's going to take it because they were setting him up for the with the United States champion to do bigger things, and I think this is one pathway, yeah, to having him be the guy. So
Yeah, and the crowd is just still constantly behind him, and not saying just because the crowd's behind him he needs to get the belt, but like his mic skills are off the charts. His in-ring skills are uh phenomenal. I mean, I don't know, he doesn't just call himself the megastar for nothing. So hopefully he'll use that catapult like so many have with that Money in the Bank if he wins the briefcase to go on to bigger and better. So we'll
right.
see.
Yeah,
A couple weeks.
we'll see. We'll see. All
Yes.
right. All right.
After that, they did a little thing talk about next week. So next week, next Money in the Bank qualifier on SmackDown, Jade Cargill versus Naomi versus Nia Jax.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
gonna be a beatdown. That's
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, because Naya's angry. She's got a few stitches from that chair shot from last week, as well as, I mean, you have the animosity with Jade Cargill and Naomi, so um that match is gonna be nuts.
That's a toss up. Any one of those three
Yeah.
could take.
Also named next week,
Okay.
the Bloodline was stopped in the back, and Nick Aldis said that Jacob Fatu is in a Money in the Bank qualifier for next week. Which put a big smile on his face. So
Sure.
his smile kind of turned into a more of a frown
Hmm.
because and then he's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like if you win, I win, we win," kind of thing. And
Right. I mean,
then
that's what Solo been preaching. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
Keep
So
the same energy when it's about me.
in which case, Jacob Fatu said, "You're right, man. I love you, Solo," and walked away. And Solo's like, "He hasn't said that to me in 6 months."
Hmm.
So Jacob Fatu is excited to see. Hopefully he'll qualify as well because he's gonna be nuts in a ladder match. So we'll see
Facts.
next week,
Facts.
which takes us to the main event.
Woo!
The evening
Yeah.
was the Street Profits defending their titles against Fraxium.
Okay.
Boy,
Okay. These two teams.
yeah,
Heavy.
this the Street
Heavy.
Profits they have been main eventing SmackDown numerous times over the last few months, and deservedly so because these are main event matches. They're pay-per-view. They're sorry, no, whatever. They're pay-per-view quality matches every
Oh,
time.
every time.
Every time. And Fraxium is getting that way too. They're coming to the match 4-0 since joining SmackDown. Um, so and they're two-time tag champs in their own rights on NXT, so they are no strangers to holding the gold. This
Okay.
match was an absolute tag team clinic. So many close finishes and so many close falls and pin breakups that I've never seen before, and just it was so fast paced with Fraxium and uh uh at one point DIY actually tried to interfere, but before they could do anything, Motor City Machine Gun came out and kind of squashed that beef.
Okay.
Um they were in the end it looked out those four guys ended up just being bodies because after that all hell breaks loose when the lights go down and the Wyatt Six uh, show themselves and just wreck house.
Yeah, the return to the Wyatt Six. Yeah.
Uh, Not, I mean, I'm assuming it was because it was Bray's birthday, so it did a little, which I thought was very cool. If
I
you
thought it was
saw
very
that, you
cool as
can talk
well.
on that a bit.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that clip. Um, just because you know me, that's Bray Wyatt was my guy.
Yep,
So once I saw even the clip of like the Wyatt Six back, I was like, yeah, this is the one clip I'll sit and watch. And yeah, they brought out the birthday cake and everything. So it was a beautiful thing, man.
it's very cool.
R.I.P. to Bray Wyatt. We still miss him so much.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So
man.
it was a pretty cool send off, like a happy birthday, brother kind of thing. He blew out a candle for him and everything, and that's how we ended Friday Night SmackDown.
Ooh, man. All in all, seemed like a pretty good show.
It was a pretty good show. It was perfect send off to take us to the Saturday night's main event for the next evening, which
Yes.
Will's going to tell us about.
Yes, Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
We started off for this. We're just gonna get right into the matches, y'all. We're just gonna go matches results because we're really gonna have two main things to talk about.
Mm.
Like William said, he and I were together for this, and we got to cheer and laugh. as much as y'all did.
Boy, did we.
Started off with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk. Did not think that would be the beginning of the night, but that was the beginning of the night. Biggest thing about that night, Bronson Reed made his return. Um, was able to interfere in the match, give Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker the win. And then when you thought Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed might get into it, nope. Turns out Bronson Reed's on the team. So he has been added to the stable that is Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker. So he's got a little crew going.
Yeah, we
Braun,
were it
big.
looks like Braun Breaker did not know.
No, Braun Breaker was ready for that action. Yeah.
Yeah. It's until
Yeah.
Seth Rollins kind of stepped aside and then hugged him. So Braun's like, all right, well, I guess this guy's rolling with us, which is kind of odd, being that before Bronson Reed got hurt, he was the guy that took out Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So they've had a pretty long feud, but Paul Heyman explained it pretty well uh, in the next on Monday Night Raw and
He did. He got
why
in his
they
groove.
kind of picked him up. So
Mhm.
see how that goes. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure I was like, didn't I bring this up a few months ago when they were or a few weeks ago when we were talking about that?
Did, sir.
Yeah, man. Not toot
You've
my own
been,
horn. I mean, but
oh, you did. You've been calling some good stuff. You've been calling some good stuff, man. Got it. There it is. All right. That brings us to next match, Chelsea Green versus Selena Vega. And I got to tell you, um, not Selena Vega's best work.
Mm-mm.
Uh, we had a good laugh at her botching a 619 until it turned out like, yeah, she botched it so much she kicked Chelsea right in the nose.
Yeah.
Chelsea gets a bleeding nose, and just overall, my only note is meh. It was a match that happened, and Selena Vega is still the United States Women's Champion, which I can only hope this is a build up to Chelsea Green getting it back because I do think this whole her and the Secret Hervis, I could see her building a whole cabinet around this whole thing, much the way the JBL did when he was
Right.
United States champion. He had Orlando
Jordan.
Jordan. I was gonna say Orlando Jones. That's the actor. When he had Orlando Jordan and that whole thing, and it was literally like his little cabinet group. I could see Chelsea Green doing that, like her being the United States champion, finding a way to get the Secret Hervis, the tag team champions, the championships, and just kind of having this whole thing. I think that'd be really great. No offense to Selena Vega, but I just
Not at
don't
all.
see her just carrying it very well because her last couple matches, I personally have been unimpressed. I think you've
Yeah,
been
and like I was
impressed.
saying that just the night before, she had that sloppy Money in the Bank qualifier match, and that was the night before her title defense, which they just kind of threw in there too. It wasn't originally planned, but they're like, we got time, so we'll make it happen. So, um, we'll see what happens, but
See what happens.
not the best.
Not the best. Which brings us to you want to talk about the best.
Mm,
Uh, this is John Cena versus R-Truth. Uh, you go from what is already a great thing that is this John Cena heel run. Um, his music starts up. You see it's colorless. You see the straight up John Cena. He comes out. Uh, then you hear his music again, and you and I already are just like, no, he's not going to. And right down to a Ron Cena
on
shirt
Cena.
with him on the
Yeah.
shirt saluting. He basically does John Cena's entrance, as we know to be. Brings out the towel, hypes up the crowd, even waits to the right cue. Just
Yeah,
does the
does it
whole
all.
thing to the letter. It was one of the best things I've seen in a
I
long
mean,
time.
that was his childhood hero. He idolizes him. So he
Oh man,
remembered that thing down to every detail.
it was a pretty
So good.
flawless recreation. It was pretty funny. Very well done. Down to doing his moves verbatim
Yep.
in the match.
Yep. Did the five knuckle
Oh,
shuffle, did the
knuckle
the shoulder
shuffle.
tackles
Mhm.
because John Cena slowed it down. So he did a shoulder tackle and then he stopped and waited. And then he did another one. Like he didn't go back and forth like what Ron Cena did. He's like, this is how you're supposed to do it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I mean, that was pretty much it. It was a couple five knuckle shuffles, a couple attitude adjustments, and there's your match.
Yeah. Cena walks away. That I think, but I honestly thought they might have given it to Truth just because the title wasn't on the line. But I know someone's going to snap Cena out of this thing. Looks like it's not going to be R-Truth.
No,
Um, and I expected an Orton appearance. No Orton appearance. So just a straight up match, and Cena got the better of him. So what are you gonna do? Which brings us to the steel cage match. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Started off fun because they went right into the crowd right away. Took them a while to get into the cage. Um, I think the best thing about this match was Jesse Ventura's commentary.
yeah, because he
It
wouldn't stop.
almost seemed like he'd never seen a steel cage match before.
No, he's explaining all the rules. Which, first of all, it was great to hear Lillian Garcia back on the mic.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Lillian Garcia. Yeah, yeah.
We noticed that right away. So when she's explaining the rules to a steel cage match, he's talking over the whole thing. And then when Damian Priest, I mean, spoiler alert, when Damian Priest just walks out of the cage, he's like, I didn't know you could win by just walking out the cage door. It's like, well, if you would have shut up and stopped talking to Pat McAfee, you would have heard her say that.
Correct.
So,
Correct. But if Jesse Ventura's cooking, I'm sure you just let him finish cooking. It's like,
yep.
all right,
Yeah.
and all right. Thank you, Jesse. You just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Yeah, Damian Priest walks away as your champion. No one left on a stretcher that I saw. That was the prediction. Um, I don't think they carried Drew out on a stretcher. I think they just kind
No, but it was brutal. It ended with
of
a
rough.
concerto at the end. So
Yeah,
it does look like Drew McIntyre will be taking some time off. But I mean he's been going for a year nonstop, so he deserves a break. Take a break.
and he'll be back.
Yeah,
He'll be back. I don't think I think there will be a final. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like a Hell in a Cell or something between Drew.
maybe. But I have a feeling that if he is taking time off, like if we don't see him again this week, then it's probably the end of the feud. I mean, but maybe when he does come back, maybe it's like, hey, remember me? Because but we'll see.
And I don't know where Damian Priest will be at that point.
No. Yes.
He's gonna have to pick a new target, I think.
Hmm.
We'll see. And then we have a nice little Jey Uso Cena promo where Cena tells Jey Uso, hey, you know, if I ran out there and interfered in that match and Logan Paul somehow won, wouldn't that ruin wrestling to where we both kind of went, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It yes.
Right. It's like,
Oh no.
of
Uh,
course.
Foreshadowing. So, which takes us to the main event of Saturday night. Main event, Logan Paul versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Uh, Cena does interfere, does try to get involved, but we do have another return, not just Bronson Reed coming back. Oh boy, everybody.
Mhm.
If you sleep and you have trouble sleeping, it's probably because you're witnessing an American nightmare.
Ooh, he did
Cody
it.
Rhodes is back.
He is back. And he helped out Jey Uso because John Cena was giving him the business.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Was trying to
Cody
run
Rhodes came out and kind of evened up the odds, and Jey Uso ended up getting the win over Logan Paul 1, 2, 3, which brought Cody Rhodes in with a microphone saying, "You have Logan Paul as a partner. I have Jey Uso as a brother, and I'll see you at Money in the Bank."
to
Or
which
the bank.
he was like, "You have Logan Paul as a partner." Cena's like, "No, really? That's what you read from that?"
Right. It's like I don't know if anybody knew that tag match was going to happen except Cody Rhodes, but hey, so that's where the champs will be at
Indeed,
Money in the Bank.
indeed, we will have a champ versus champ. On that, the titles aren't on the line, but they will be on opposite sides with Jey Uso and Logan Paul. So it'll be a lot of gold in that match.
Mhm.
Logan Paul will bring some gold net jewelry, I'm sure, because everybody else will be bringing actual gold. So
Yeah.
We'll see. So that was Saturday Night Main Event. All in all, eh,
Fine.
you know, it was serviceable.
It was for returns.
I was glad we were able to sit and joke and watch it together. If I think if I was watching it kind of by myself or whatever, I kind of would have been on my
We
phone.
wouldn't have enjoyed our truth as much.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
agreed.
We definitely do. You watch it? Did you see what happened? So
Yeah.
yeah, had a
Again,
good time.
Ron Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time.
I need that shirt.
Hmm.
Hopefully they're not sold out already.
Nope. They're available.
I saw some kind of comments and things. One person like, I'm watching the match right now and I already ordered it.
Yeah.
It's already on the way.
So good.
Yeah, super great, super great. Which leads us to Memorial Day, Monday Night Raw, live from Tampa, Florida. Live from Tampa, Florida. Um, Starts off with a Saturday night recap. We just did that for you. So there you go. Opens up with a Seth Rollins promo. Um, Paul Heyman asked Tampa to acknowledge Seth Rollins, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I got goosebumps when he said that. I was like, wow, he did it.
Paul Heyman always in his bag.
Yep.
One of the greatest talkers of all time. When it comes to managers, the greatest talking manager of all time.
Mhm.
You can debate us if you like. We'll give you reasons why. And it's basically Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman explaining why they got Bronson Reed, explaining the crew, and basically Seth Rollins going, "Yeah, I'm going to find a way to win Money in the Bank because I deserve to win Money in the Bank because I'm him." So that leads us to our first qualifying match of the evening. It was Penta versus Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee. Boy, Chad Gable can't get away from these luchas, can he?
Nope. You can't.
Twas a very good match. In the end, Penta takes the win. He will
Boy,
be in the bank, which is a
man,
wonderful, wonderful thing.
man, that's gonna be
Wonderful
so
thing.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah, at one point, like the match was so insane. Dragon Lee was doing some crazy stuff. It got Pat McAfee, holy shit, during the match.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because he literally flew from the ring apron and he flew over the announce table.
That was great. I mean, it just and just that one moment where it's just the cameras there and you just see Dragon Lee just boom.
Yeah.
You got to think like, bro, he had to clear the rope and get that far, and he
Mhm.
landed. Oh, he cleared the ropes and cleared the table and got him. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Dragon Lee. Also, Chad, a little distracted because he felt like getting in the face of El Hijo del Vikingo. Um, and he thought that he was just going to be able to go and hit him, and Vikingo wouldn't have anything to say about that. But he had something to say about that.
Oh, he had a boot to say about that, which
So,
is right. And they're going to be seeing each other at Worlds Collide the day before Money in the Bank.
Worlds collide for the AAA championship. Um, yeah, that's gonna be some fun stuff. That's
It'll
gonna
be
be
on YouTube, I think.
which is so crazy because if Chad had won, it would have been him there, him fighting Vikingo, turn around, got to be in Money in the Bank.
Yep.
So that would have been interesting. Didn't think that was going to happen because if the rumors are believed to be true, he's going to show up as El Grande Americano at one point. If
Yes.
if you believe that is him. Pat McAfee believes they're two people. Michael Cole believes it's the same person. That back and forth is always really great.
Yes. It's so much
So
fun.
yeah, which leads us to Judgment Day promo. Hey, Billiam
Mhm.
lives back.
Yeah, she is.
Caught Roxy trying to give him a whole plate of nuggets on some like what's going on here. Don't worry, Raquel told me what's going on. I'll talk to y'all later. I got things to do. So
Ooh.
yeah, oh, Trixie, which Finn Balor loving it.
Loving it.
Balor loving it. Uh, which leads us to WWE did a really great thing. They did a Memorial Day shout out. I know I can I don't always like to speak for Billion, but I can speak for the Section 8 Wrestling Podcast. I know he would back me when I say just thank you to all the wonderful people that do serve, for the people that have served, that are currently serving, and are in training or have thoughts of serving. Thank you for your service. We hope you make it back safe wherever you are, and for those that didn't, we honor them. So thank you all. Yeah. Just a
Absolutely.
great shout out.
Especially
Which
coming from military family. I definitely appreciate it that much more. So Thank you for what you do.
Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Absolutely. Which leads us to our next match, Rusev versus Tozawa. And this went about as well as we said it would. Just Tozawa hung in there for the first. It kind of reminded me of stories you heard about Mike Tyson and his sparring partners,
Oh yeah,
where Mike Tyson would give his sparring partners 10 seconds. Like, you got 10 seconds. Go ahead, try to knock me out in 10 seconds. Go ahead. And then once that's 10 seconds over, I'm going to do my thing. And you're probably not going to make it. So Tozawa hung in there for about a good 20 seconds. And then Rusev did his thing. And so Rusev wins. But I do feel like I can do a little billion beep, beep, toot my own horn. I did say it would be interesting if Rusev and Sheamus kind of mixed up again, and who happens to come out? Good
here we
old
go.
Sheamus, and they have a nice little stare down. So that's going to be a nice bubbling pot.
Gonna be
That's
a banger, as
yeah,
Seamus likes to say.
it's going to be a banger.
Oh yeah,
Uh, then there was Burt Kirshner and Tom Segura had a little promo, said some things, did some things. They're funny. Burt found a way to get his shirt off as he
yep.
does, and took some chops and
Bert loves wrestling now.
yeah.
It's his second show in like a month, and Tom just had a new show on Netflix. He's like, "You gotta come promote it on there." And Tom's like, "I don't like wrestling." Like he's come out and said he doesn't like it, but he's like, "Okay, I'll do it anyway." And apparently he had a blast. So
Yeah, there you
you may
go.
be seeing more of Tom Segura, but yeah, Bert Kreischer, it's right up his alley. That's what he's made for.
I imagine that Bert could be one of them people. You kind of do something with him, and he can get you excited about something. Just like, oh, it's
Yep.
not it's exciting. Ah! So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not about what you do; it's who you do it with.
Exactly.
Which leads us to the next match. It's the Tag Team Championship, triple threat tag team. It is American made. It is the Royal Raiders and your champions, the New
Yeah.
Day. Thank God for the New Day. Shout out Waka Flocka Flame. They showed him earlier, and I was like, "Yo, are they not gonna rep Waka Flocka? He's in the building." Sure enough, they did. Pat McAfee running some titles down.
Hmm.
Not surprised he knows some Waka Flocka Flame music, or it could be one of the things like he Googled just top songs real quick. I don't judge. If he's a fan, great.
Surprise me.
That was great. Xavier Woods doing the Jeff Jarrett walk.
That's
Phenomenal.
the thing. Yeah. He's
Love it.
taking on that role and he is running with it.
I
And
love it.
keep rocking it, bro.
Yeah, man. This new and we were going back and doing some research for our potential next entrance. Um, talking about. I said that the New Day was trying to find their thing. Looks like they kind of found a little thing. They take the belts and they tap them together. When they tap them together, you hear an explosion, and I was like, okay,
Mm.
give them a little golf clap. I'm like, okay, that works. That works, y'all. And then just talk their mess all the way down the ring. Uh, Good match. Everybody doing their thing. But I tell you what, y'all don't like it. I don't care. New Day is still your tag team champions,
Yeah,
and
they
that's just how it is. They go in there, they have to scurry on out, and hey, man, sorry and shit.
run it forever. Run it
So
forever.
I see we're against it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and jump to the next match, which was Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane went on ahead and challenged Liv Morgan. I want to fight you. Um, Roxy comes out. Roxy and Raquel kind of get into it. Liv ends up losing the match. So Kairi Sane's the winner, which leads us to a promo where Liv basically tells Raquel, "You're the veteran. Should have known better." Ooh, so Liv not too happy. Raquel not too happy. A little more
But Finn
dissension.
is, if
Oh,
you go
Finn
back
great.
and watch those promos, he's
Finn
the guy
loving
can
it.
smile the whole time. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Loves a little
it's all under
dissension.
Finn's plan. That's what he's planning.
Stirring the pot.
Hmm.
Stirring the pot. Um, Lyra and Becky get into it. Becky basically telling her, if I win, you have to raise my hand.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
And if she
Lyra,
loses, she won't challenge her for the belt again.
yeah, she won't challenge her for that
That
belt.
belt. Correct.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Wording is important, boys and girls, for
Mhm.
that belt, which I picked up on right away. Um, so yeah, then Karrion Kross pops up talking to Sami Zayn. Karrion Kross just, you know, talking, talking mess, talking mess, just, trying to get inside Sami Zayn's head, this and that, which leads us to the final Money in the Bank qualifying match. It is Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn, first Finn Balor. Um, and
Another one of those pay-per-view
I,
main event matches, man. Like these
it
three
was,
main eventers, just it was so good. Such a good
it
triple
was
threat
really good
match.
to watch. It was really good to watch. Three really great cats going at it. I think people forget how good Sami Zayn is.
Yeah,
Um, putting on a good show. But yeah, Breaker and Bronson come out to try to get Zayn. Jey Uso tries to come out and do a whole bunch of stuff. But in all the chaos, guess what, boys and girls? Seth Rollins going to Money in the Bank.
he sure is.
And if y'all don't know, let me remind y'all, we were in the building for the heist of the century. The last time Seth Rollins had the Money in the Bank briefcase, it did in fact shake up the WWE world.
Yeah,
So,
it's the first time anybody cashed it in during a match and turned into a triple threat and then won the belt. It was so good. And
and
we were
then
there
just
live.
absolutely stole the night. And then after being told that CM Punk was not there, guess what?
He was.
He was there. He shows up, um, puts the GTS on Rollins, and goes into the crowd and best in the world! I got your man's. And that's how we ended Monday Night Raw. It was a very good show after Saturday Night Main Event.
Hmm.
Uh, y'all can go back and watch some highlights for the things that we did miss that we kind of had to speed through. That's all right. We did hit the major points. That was a weekend of wrestling.
It was
Uh,
good. It was another
it
good one.
was another really good one. I tell you what, y'all, Billiam, why don't you tell the folks what they can do to help us out?
Oh, haters and friends alike, you go ahead and comment below. Tell us what you like, don't like, what you want to hear, what you want to see, what you don't want to see anymore. Let us know. We are open to options and opinions. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And you can also find us on Instagram at Section 8 Wrestling Pod and on Spotify and Apple Music.
Whoop,
We're
whoop.
everywhere, kids.
We're everywhere. And we'll be getting more episodes up on there. We still have a little bit of backtracking to do. That's on me. I will make sure I get those episodes up so we can get up and current so you can enjoy everything that y'all missed.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it because he has things to do. I have things to do. Y'all have things to do. And we don't want to keep you here all night. We want to thank y'all for stopping by for the Section 8 Wrestling Podcast. I am Kills at Wills.
I'm Billiam.
Hey, we'll see y'all on the next one.
Night, y'all.